Oh no, I've hurt my ankle. That's alright, I'll rest it. About 10 years ago, studies found that icing injuries delays the healing or recovery process. Then what should I do instead? So, out with the old rice, and instead, I've recently learned about the peace and love for injuries. The new acronym, instead of RICE, is quite a little bit longer, but I love how much more in-depth it is in how to recover and rehab your soft tissue injury. So, I'd love to see more of peace and love to help you with recovering. What does that mean? Immediately after the injury, it's recommended to follow the guide for PEACE, P-E-A-C-E. The P is for protection. So this means avoiding activities and movements that increase the pain just for the first couple of days. You want to limit how long you're resting, basically, because prolonged resting can then affect quality and strength of the tissue. So instead of thinking about it in a case of resting, we're trying to protect things, but then after a couple of days, letting pain guide us back into, slowly ease back into the movement so that you're not doing too much too soon, but so that you're getting things moving again. E is for elevate. Elevating the limb higher than the heart can help with preventing some of the swelling in the first few days after the injury. A is probably my favorite in the whole of the peace and love system. A is for avoiding anti-inflammatories. Inflammation is a really important part of the process for injuries to heal, for the tissues to heal. So why would we want to inhibit the healing process? Anti-inflammatories include ice or anti-inflammatory medication, and they can impair the process of your injury healing. They can slow down the recovery time and affect the overall outcome afterwards. So if you absolutely have to, because you can't sleep and you're in agonizing pain, you're like, I need help, try chatting to a medical professional about what you can use just to help with some of the pain relief if you absolutely have to. And if your medical professional recommends ricing it, find a better medical professional. The thing that irks me with anti-inflammatories and painkillers as well is people will take them before going to the gym, before going for a walk, or before playing sports or getting a massage. And because you've done that, you then are affecting the P part of the peace and love protection, where you're using pain as a little bit of a guardrail to work out where things are going, like how things are feeling with the injury. If you can't feel how much the injury hurts, you don't know how much you're overdoing it. C is for compression, which is using elastic bandages or stretchy taping to help reduce swelling. This has had some conflicting studies, but compression on an ankle sprain seems to reduce the swelling and improve quality of life. And then lastly for peace comes the E. E, education. Basically, your body knows best. Let nature play its role. This includes an education around an active approach to recovery instead of relying on passive things such as massage to help as a magic cure to fix everything. Passive things like massage have insignificant effects, I know it's controversial for me to say that, right? On pain and function compared to if you were to do things yourself. And then having a bit of an active role on things can also mean that you're not having a therapy dependent behavior where you're relying on the chiropractor or the massage therapist or the whoever it is to fix you. You can fix your own body through doing exercises and stretches, whatever it is that's relevant for you at the time. It's all up to you. Under education as well, it's also important to have realistic expectations for recovery times instead of chasing that quick fix, magic cure. It's just going to, one time, everything's fixed. Sometimes it's a slow progress and it's just taking things slow and steady, being consistent with your rehab. Hope that makes sense and I didn't botch that explanation too much. After the first few days have passed, soft tissue injuries need love. Love stands for load, so letting pain guide your return back to normal activities. Mechanical stress to the area should be added early and normal activities resumed as much as possible to help with the tissues building the way, like laying down the way that they should. Optimal loading without overdoing it helps to prevent pain and promote repair, and remodels stronger and healthier, like tendons, ligaments, and muscles. O stands for optimism. Condition your brain for optimal recovery through confidence and positivity. Optimistic expectations are associated with better recovery and prognosis, whereas a negative outlook can represent barriers to recovery. V stands for vascularization. Vascularizations, which just means choosing pain-free cardio activities to help increase the blood circulation to the area a few days after the injury to help with motivation and the healing process. Early mobilization and cardio help to improve function and reduce the need for pain meds. And E is for exercise, restoring that mobility, strength, and proprioception by adapting an active approach to your recovery. Strengthening the affected tissue can help prevent recurring injury. When I sprained my ankle, I lost a little bit of trust in my ankle and my body, and any slight little bit of pain, I was like, nah, that's it. Like, I've got to stop what I'm doing. It's just too much. I'm hurting myself. And I saw an excellent allied health practitioner who just let me know, like, to help with rebuilding that trust, going up to a 4 out of 10 level of discomfort is okay. It's all right, as long as the pain's not worsening while you're doing it. So that was really helpful for being like, oh, this feels uncomfortable, but it's all right because it's not more than a 4 out of 10. I thought I'd just share my little anecdotal story with you to be helpful. Sometimes injuries can't be avoided, like a trauma injury in a sport. There's not much you can do about it. But other times, if you're just walking down the street and randomly injure yourself, there was probably a postural problem or a muscle weakness that helped to contribute to that injury. So to help prevent things happening again in the future, I highly recommend investigate why that happened and what you can do to prevent things from going a little bit skew-whiff again in the future. So next time you injure yourself, instead of rice, think about peace and love. That's all for now. Bye!
If Bruce here!
Be gone!